Hello and welcome. This is Shonda. And first of all, I want to thank you all for signing up for my workshop, Creating a Sacred Space to Meditate. I'm just going to jump right in and I'm going to get started. So, some people may come in as the workshop is going on, but I do have everyone muted. And I'll actually unmute it after the workshop is over with in case anyone has any questions. So, again, thank you for signing up. The reason why I wanted to do this workshop mainly was because I get so many questions in my inbox about how do I meditate? Where do I start meditating? What do I do to meditate? Every day I get a question. I kid you not, every single day. So I said, you know what? I'm going to put together this workshop. It's going to be really, really short, but at least you get to actually hear me as opposed to going back and forth through messaging because, things are getting construed when you're texting as opposed to talking. So that's why I wanted to actually do this. Let's see. So I do want to say that I do one free monthly workshop a month. This is the second month that I'm actually doing this, and I actually enjoy it. I get great feedback from those who participated, even if they missed the actual live, if they watch it and they come back. I've been getting great feedback from it. So I think that something I always say, in order to receive abundance, we must be abundant. And part of me being abundant is actually giving these free workshops. So I hope that you enjoy. So meditation, I wanted to say first how I actually got started meditating, why I started meditating, different things like that. So I actively started to meditate when I was going through a very dark period in my life. I was really dealing with my depression. And I just needed some type of way to cope, to deal, to function. I needed something to help basically ground me. So I decided to get into meditation. When I did start, I was kind of clueless, I had thought that meditation was all about, how you see it on TV, you sit with your eyes closed home for hours at a time. And, during that period, I couldn't get my mind to shut up for 60 seconds, let alone 5 minutes, let alone 30 minutes, let alone an hour, so it was very challenging in the beginning. When I did start trying just with silence at first, and that was a struggle. And actually to meditate like in complete silence for me, and everybody's different, it took me about 6 weeks daily. 6 weeks getting to that point where I wasn't letting these flighting thoughts come in and interfere in my meditation session. Other forms of meditation I also tried and I continue to do is guided meditation. So guided meditation, what that is actually is when it has music playing in the background really softly, and it also has somebody talking, and they're talking and they're basically guiding you through the meditation. And those type of meditations could be like 5-10 minutes long. They have different apps you can use. You can always get on YouTube. And my favorite that I love doing is actually binaural beats. And I listen to my binaural beats on YouTube for free. Okay, so you're not buying anything fancy, anything to have to meditate is my point. You don't need anything to meditate. All you need is yourself, really. But you always can incorporate different things, and I'm going to talk more about that throughout the workshop when I talk about the part about actually setting up your space. So that's what got me on the path to meditation. And when I started in the beginning, I won't even lie to you, it was difficult because, you think about all these things, and when you try to put yourself like, okay, I'm about to sit down, about to be quiet and actually meditate, it just was hard. It seems like the more that you focused on saying, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to meditate, and you have so much going on in your mind, it just was kind of a struggle to actually put myself in a position to do it. But I didn't give up. I kept doing it. If it was like 5 minutes a day, if it was 10 minutes a day, I actively chose to sit down and attempt to create a meditation practice for myself. It's life-changing, y'all. It really, really is. It's life-changing for me. It was, and it continues to be, because meditation it helps with a lot of things. Okay, so it helps with stress reduction. It helps with lowering your blood pressure, and that was something that I was quite impressed with, was the lowering the blood pressure part, because I deal with high blood pressure that I manage holistically. But I noticed my blood pressure would be extremely high. And when I started to meditate and like really develop a strong meditative practice, meaning I got to the point, and I don't so much right now, unless it's like I'm going through something, and I'll get into that as well. But I got to the point I was meditating every day, in the morning, in the evening, in the morning or at night before I went to bed. And the blood pressure was awesome. It was doing so well. And along with meditation, as well as, like I say, managing it holistically, I've been able to manage my blood pressure. Unless when, like, if I get sick or something like that, then I notice it's elevated. It gets high. And just think, you get sick, your body is going through a little funk or whatever. But other than that, I'm able to manage my blood pressure. And that is great, because I prefer not to take prescription medicines because of something that happened in the past. So the fact that I can bring myself to a place of relaxation and reducing stress, as well as an elevated blood pressure through meditation, is awesome, you know. So I think that a big struggle people may have with meditation, again, is how do I get started? Or I've tried to meditate, but it's just not working for me. I hear that a lot. And like I said, it takes time to develop a good meditation practice. You know, it's not that you don't know how to do it, or you just haven't found what works for you. You know, if you watch different movies or watch different programs or watch different videos on social media, or if you read different things, you know, everybody may say something a little bit different. And because of that, you need to figure out what works for you. Maybe total silence doesn't work for you. Maybe guided meditation doesn't work for you. Maybe binaural beats don't work for you, okay? You have to figure out what helps you to get grounded, because that's key. And basically what meditation does, it helps to ground you into reality so that you can pay attention to what's going on around you. You will gain clarity in your life. So everything ain't for everybody, is my point. You're going to have to figure out what works for you. Experiment with different things. Research different meditative styles and practices. Some people, they can sit for hours, you know, and hold your hands. And when you hold your hands like this, I just want to throw that in, because you may see people hold their hands in different ways of meditation. Those are called mudras. And this is how you channel energy in to you, from around you, channel it into your meditation practices. And mudras is a whole nother thing to get into, but I want to say that. But my point in saying that is sometimes you may see people like they're holding their hands. Well, I'm trying to see. I don't know, because I can't see down here, y'all. But they could be holding their hands different ways. You know, like, what are they doing? But that, baby, that's not for you. You know, you see mudras a lot also used with yoga. So when yoga and meditation are used in combination, you may see that. But maybe you don't want to do it like that. Maybe you don't want to sit on the floor. Maybe you can't sit on the floor. Maybe you have a bad back. You know, whatever's going on with you, don't ever let that deter you from thinking, oh, I cannot meditate. I can't relax my mind. You could lay in a bed and meditate. You could journal and meditate. You know, it's whatever works for you. And that's very important to remember, not just with meditation, but as well as your spiritual practices and what spirituality means to you. Everybody cannot be identical. Just because one person has this experience doesn't necessarily mean that's your experience, okay? So again, and I said it again and again, develop a practice that works for you. I'm going to go over some key points that I wrote down. And these key points that I have is basically going to be a summary of what I'm going to go through today. And also, it's going to have, at the end, it's going to have tips in it for you to just prepare yourself for meditation if you never meditated before, or if you're struggling to meditate. Hopefully these tips do help you. So first things first, what is meditation, right? It's like, what is that? Meditation, is it just sitting there with my eyes closed? Some people are thinking, no, that's not all it is. So what meditation is It is the practice of using a technique such as mindfulness or focusing the mind on a particular object, subject, or thought. You're training your mind and your attention. You're training to train attention and awareness and achieve mental clarity and emotional calmness. Okay. Meditation can help you to remaining present in this moment that you are currently in. Okay. That's basically what meditation is. You're not regretting anything from the past. You're not stressing about anything from the future. The more that you begin to meditate, you learn to really remain present. So when you remain present, then you are stopping these past and future influences from clouding your judgment, from blocking your clarity. And to me, if you watch any of my videos, if you are one of my people, one of my regulars, you know that I talk about manifestation a lot. And a manifestation isn't some kind of magical trick or anything. Everybody has the ability to manifest. It's just, what are you manifesting in your life? What are you bringing forth? Because our thoughts and our actions create those manifestations. So with meditation, if you allow yourself to remain present, you'll find that it's easier to create, to manifest in your present reality, because you're focused on the now. You're focused on presently what it is that I'm trying to do. Not, oh my gosh, like this happened and argue with my friend and we're not, you're not stuck right here stopping you from manifesting. Then you worry about the future. Oh, the light bill's due and I gotta do this and you know what I'm saying? You're in the future. I mean, you're in the present. I'm sorry. Now, I will say, when you begin to meditate and you try to sit down, you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this. What happens? Like a million thoughts come to your mind, okay? And it's like thoughts that you kind of think about as you're shuffling throughout the day. But when you sit down to meditate, at least for me, it's like all kinds of just things like, oh my gosh, I gotta put this, did I cut the stove off? Like, oh my gosh, shut up. My tip for you is this, because I know that another issue people say they have with meditation is try to shut the thoughts up and they just don't want to shut up. So then I'm stuck right there and I'm trying to battle myself. I'm like not thinking about the thoughts. You must let them come. You can acknowledge them and then learn to let them go. Okay? While you're meditating. Does it happen instantly? Everybody's different. I mean, you may tell yourself this one time, and then the next time you go to meditate, those thoughts aren't bothering you. Others, it may take a while. Me, it took weeks. Like I said, it took 6 weeks for me to actually get to the point where, and it was every day, it would be less and less. Okay, it wasn't like a consistent, like, oh my gosh, I cannot focus at all. It was day by day. The more intention I put into having a better meditative practice, the better my meditation practice did get. Not least, but the thoughts, they stopped bothering me so much during meditation. And it helped me to focus more on the now. So if you have these thoughts that's coming to your mind, like you're in another part of the house and you just finished cooking dinner and you're like, okay, I'm relaxing. Did I cut off the stove? And you're like, I don't want to get up. It's just started. So, but did I cut off the stove? Did I cut off the stove? Did I cut off the stove? Yes, I cut off the stove. Then you go and you get back into your meditative practice. Now, if it's like you're going crazy and berserk, like, oh my God, did I cut off the stove? Get up and go see if you cut the stove. My point is, don't try to fight the thoughts. You work through the thoughts. If it's something that you just can't shake, maybe step out of your meditation and acknowledge it if it's something that needs to be acknowledged. But if it's something that's like past thoughts trying to haunt you, current thoughts trying to haunt you, meaning like again, I'm still the light bill. Oh my gosh, the light bill's due. Acknowledge, okay, I know I need to pay the light bill. And I'll address that after I give myself this time. I think that in life, we get so caught up into what needs to be done, what we got to hurry up and do, and deadlines, that we don't give ourselves enough time to do anything. For some reason, we think it's okay to give everybody time as well, except ourselves. And how fair is that? I always say you can't pour from an empty cup. Therefore, you need to take care of yourself. Okay? So with that being said, you could give yourself 5 minutes a day of meditation. You give yourself 10 minutes a day. You know what? Hell, if you want to give yourself an hour, you take your hour. You deserve to take care of you first before you have to deal with anybody else. Because when you are in your right frame of mind and when you are in alignment, you could better serve others as opposed to draining yourself dry. And then what do you have left to give to others, you know? So give yourself that time. You commit to that. If you want it, even it doesn't have to be an hour. But you know, as you set an intention on, okay, I'm going to actively start to meditate every day. Start off with 5 minutes. I'm committed 5 minutes every day to myself for meditation. I don't care what's going on. Y'all better not knock on my door. I'm turning my phone on airplane mode. Look, don't bother me. Give me my time. And I think that when I was developing a strong meditation practice, I probably was a little bit to the house, you know, because I'd be like, look, I'm about to meditate. Y'all better not knock on my door. You know what I'm And they'd be like, oh my gosh. Like I could hear them in the house. Y'all be glad she's meditating, you know. So I would be like that in the beginning, but the more you work on your meditation practice, you will see that you are able to put yourself in a meditative space easier as well. Meaning I have been in the midst of a bunch of chaos and I will put myself in a meditative space to bring calmness to myself in the midst of the chaos or in the midst of noise or just a whole lot of things that's going on around me. And that was something that, of course, I had to practice, and it's a good thing to practice because it'll help you stay calm in situations because you have something to kind of go back on and to grab from and hold on. Like I remember the calmness I had during meditation, okay? And it'll help you to kind of just deal with, you know, the craziness better, all right? So meditation is completely safe. You're not doing anything. You're not taking anything. You're not doing anything bizarre. It's you and yourself and your mind and your thought. So it's completely safe and it helps to keep balance. And of course, it manages stress, trust me, really, really well. And it's also great for people with chronic pain. You know, if you know anybody who deals with chronic pain, like people with arthritis, that's coming to my mind right now. And just other things, like chronic pain is actually a diagnosis for some people. But if you deal with that, meditation can help really work through that. Two common meditation approaches. Now I'm going to talk about two, but please know there are several different ways or there are chakra meditations, there are crystal meditations, there are walking meditations. There's all these different things. Like you get on Google, you'll find all kinds of stuff. I read a lot of books, and in a lot of books that I read, particularly my books on meditation, I kid you not, it's like a different set of type of meditations in every single book. So it's that's why I say there's no wrong way to do things. It's all about what works for you. Two common approaches though that I'm gonna talk about is concentration and mindfulness. So with concentration is you are focused on something, and it could be focused like on your breathing, focused on an image, focused on a sound. So binaural beats is kind of like a sound type meditation because you start focusing on the different sounds in there. Images is looking at a particular thing and putting your focus on it and meditating on that as well. That's good with crystal meditation. So if you use crystals and putting your focus on a particular crystal, for example, it could be concentration meditation. What else did I say? In breath, focus on your breathing. This is helpful, whether it's concentration, mindfulness, I'm just starting out or whatever. You know how when I talked about those flying thoughts, that I could have stole up, that I go pay the bill, I can't stop my mind. If you start to focus on your breath, you know, like the concept of counting sheep or counting backwards to fall asleep, when you focus on your breath, okay, that helps to kind of calm you down and bring you to a meditative place that those thoughts may stop fleeting. A little quick exercise you could do if you do that, because I find it helped me tremendously, like my breathing during those 6 weeks of trying to do like a silent meditation. But what it is, you would breathe in for 5, hold 5, hold for 5, and release for 5. So we'll do it without talking now. Okay. So doing that and just doing it, just, I mean, you might don't want to shut up, fine, mind. Go ahead and play hockey and dribbles or basketball, whatever you want to do inside your brain, fine, whatever. Okay. But if you do that breathing and you're focusing on your breathing, you're not focusing on those fleeting thoughts. And taking in those deep breaths like that and holding it and releasing it, oh my gosh, it relaxes your body so much. I mean, if you don't want to do anything else, and if you want to try the breathing type meditation, it's very, very helpful. It is. And if you have high blood pressure, taking deep breaths helps with your pressure, by the way. Do some deep breaths and check your blood pressure like a little while after that, 5 minutes or so. Blood pressure gonna go down. So, just saying. Mindfulness. So mindfulness is a bit different. Mindfulness is noticing what's going on around you. Okay, so like say you are aware of if you feel the hair standing up on your arms, or if these images start coming to your mind, any thoughts, any sounds, but you're not going to actively focus on them. Meaning, you know how like you may feel like a little tingle in your leg or tingle in your arm, and you acknowledge the fact that you feel it, but you don't become so focused on it that you're like, oh my gosh, why is my leg tingling? Something going on with my leg. Ooh, I need to stretch my leg. Not putting so much focus on it. I do that one as well. I like mindfulness. Mindfulness is great to do outside. Okay. Oh my gosh, like if you're an outdoorsy person, and you sit outside and you can hear like the trees ruffling and the birds chirping and these different type of insects. Okay, so I live kind of in the country, all right? I mean, there's a cow farm behind me, so I hear things all the time, you know, but I think mindfulness is really, really good to do outside. And you can actually do a combination of both. Again, it's what works for you. And sometimes I do one, other combination of both. It's wherever my meditative practice decides to take me for that day. I'm just kind of going over basic stuff. I'm not going deep into what meditation it could be and all of the, I'm not gonna say the scientific words, but you know, like scientific words and everything. This is something I'm just saying really basic for people who just want to start meditating, you know. If you want to know the deeper meaning of meditation, you just let me know. I could email you a book. But this is just like really, really basic for like, you know, I want to start meditating. What should I do? So I just wanted to say that as well. If you are just tuning in and you missed the beginning, please know that I will email a playback to you all along with the summary. Let's see. So this is something that I always tell people. Journaling can be considered a form of meditation. Why? I'm not sitting quietly, Shonda. I'm not focused, Shonda. I'm not doing the breathing, Shonda. But what journaling does is it helps to empty that out your mind, right? So you could write down whatever it is, like, oh, I'm just upset today, and well, whatever you want to write down, you start writing that down. And either you could just do that and you leave it at that, or you could do that before you start meditating. That way, being that you have emptied the clutter and chatter out your mind through writing, when you just sit down to do or lay down or however you choose to meditate, do your meditation, then it's more clear. You're not listening to all of that stuff because you got it out through writing. So we're going to jump into creating a sacred space. Now, I do want to say, what did I want to say? Because it was about journaling. I don't know. It may come back to me. So, I know what it was. So you're like, well, okay, so if I meditate, do I pray? If I pray, do I not meditate? Because no, y'all see crazy memes going around sometimes, and apparently what meditation could mean. To me, prayer is talking to God for me. Okay, everybody's different. Meditation is listening to God, because you get to a place where you are remaining present and you are allowing yourself to feel and to experience and open yourself up to a clarity that an idea may come or a knowing may come, anything like that. So yes, it's good to do prayer and meditation. To me, they both go hand in hand. Okay. So now, jumping into creating a sacred space to meditate. So whenever you do decide to start incorporating meditation into your daily practice, it's like meditation becomes kind of like a ritual, okay? So what a ritual is, oh my gosh, she said the word ritual. To me, a ritual means an order of doing things in a way, and it's consistent, done daily or however often you want to do it. You get up in the morning, brush your teeth, wash your face, take a shower. It's a ritual. Like you do that every morning. Brush my teeth, wash your face, take a shower every morning. That's a ritual. If you go jogging every day for 6:30 and decide to go have a smoothie after, you do this 5 days a week. It's a ritual. It's an order of things that you're doing. So even the same thing with your meditation practice, it becomes a ritual. It becomes an order of things that you incorporate into your daily practice. So it's good to have a special place to meditate, because you begin to train your mind, like when I am in this space, this is what this space is for. So it's like, now when I'm saying this, but you don't need to have a special room or build a room or have a separate room or kick your kids out the bedroom and make and create your meditation room. Nothing crazy like that. You can be in your bedroom, a little section in your room where you may have a little setup, or even a little pillow, whatever, but you know that this is my space. This is my sacred space. The space is special for me, especially for me to practice my meditation. So let's just clear that up. I don't have a fancy room to do my meditation in, there are two spots that I'm comfortable doing meditation. One spot is in my bedroom, and that's where I do the most of my meditation space, because it's just, to me, I feel like my bedroom is kind of like my sacred space, It's private. I close my door, and it's like my own little sanctuary. And that's important when you do meditation. You don't want, or you even sit outside, like I just said before. And even if you if you have the yard space, find your little spot in the yard where you can meditate. If you don't have the yard space, go to a park, go somewhere where there's like a lot of water, like if you're close to like a lake or anything like that. We have bayous down here. You just want to kind of go somewhere that's kind of quiet, so you really can have that time to have peace and be able to gain clarity. You're not going to be able to gain too much clarity in the midst of chaos, even though I said that earlier, but that's a practice, and I don't like doing that in the midst of chaos. I do it if it's necessary, and I just need to kind of do something to bring my stress level down a bit. But for the most part, you want it to be a quiet place of reflection, because that is when you can notice things more about what's going on around you and the things that you need to know. That's when you're shuffling throughout the day, you like this. You're not looking here and here. But meditation teaches you to look everywhere. It teaches you to open up your perspective more. Let's see. Another thing you could do is, and I may have put this twice, but you can incorporate candles and incense. Also, if you do create your own space, meaning if you have your own bedroom, your own meditation room, or you just a nice little section of your house where you can make a meditation space, you can set up where you have your candles and incense and statues. I have the Buddha statues. Something that just makes you feel good and it makes you think about being at peace is a good thing to use and incorporate into your daily meditation ritual or practice, whatever. Because it's about making your mind be associated with knowing it's time to meditate, or this is my meditation space. Let's see what else we have here. The dimmer lights, you don't have the dimmer lights. And I got a lot more of that inside of the actual thing that I'm gonna mail out to y'all, email, about what you can do to actually set up your space. But I think the important thing is you want to have a space where you are comfortable. You want to have a space that you see as it is sacred, it is special to you, a space where no one will violate, a space where people will respect. This is my meditation space. Creating a space, like I said, doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be expensive, but it is good to have a spot. Meaning, you're not on the kitchen floor one day, and then you're in the living room the next day, and then you're sitting on the roof the day after, and then you're like, well, I might go back to because you don't want to associate all these different places with a place where you seek solace and calm and clarity. You want to be able to have this one particular space that is for me to meditate in. Okay. So that's what I mean about creating a space. And I don't necessarily mean just a physical space, but a mental space for you to be able to gain that clarity, wherever that may be. Now, another thing is, some people like, I say you can't get on the floor. I can't get on the floor and meditate. I don't like sitting on the floor. I don't want to cross my legs. My legs are hurting. I hear all kind of stuff, y'all. If you want to lay in your bed and meditate, lay in your bed and meditate. At nighttime, when I do my binaural beats, because I come on, I go to sleep with them on. And I'm in bed. I'm laying down on my back with my headphones on. Not on the floor. Do I meditate on the floor? Yes, I do. Another thing too, what I wanted to say with incorporating into your space is with crystals. You can have crystals around. I love crystals, y'all. Crystals everywhere. Okay, every time I turn around, you see it on my fingers too. But crystals emit a frequency. So like this is love, rose quartz, love, self-love, compassion, things like that. When you hold certain crystals while you're meditating, you connect with the frequency of that crystal and what it represents. So let's say if you're struggling with like forgiveness, different things like that. When meditating with the rose quartz, that energy will connect with your energy, your aura, and it would help you to be more open to compassion, maybe forgiveness, things like that. So crystals are great as well. I'm not going to make this a crystal class, but if you have questions about crystals, just feel free to reach out to me about that. So in the summary, it got a good little chunk about setting up a space, like more details and a couple of different ideas of what it is you can do to set up your space. Now, lastly, because I didn't want to make this long, y'all, it's about 30 minutes, so that's pretty good where I want to keep it. Have faith. You need to be open to the fact that meditation can be beneficial for you. So if you don't believe, things don't work. So if you're like, I'm gonna go do it, but I don't think that really works, guess what? It's not gonna work. You have to go into your meditative practice with an open mind. And for me, that was, feeling like emotionally with depression, I had hit rock bottom. So guess what? I'm like, well, I'm willing to try anything at this point. So I'm not feeling like this anymore. So I had faith going in, and I believe that meditation is going to make me better. Meditation is going to strengthen my mind to become better. And it did. So even before, it's good to have faith. And I also said this too, using the power of intention together. You set that intention that every time you decide to go into your meditation practice, or even before you even begin to meditate, you set that intention that you will have faith and that you're going to have a good meditation session, and setting intentions in everything you do. If you don't do that, and you start doing it, it's very life-changing. I'm going to give y'all a great example. So I love cooking gumbo because everybody loves my gumbo, right? So every time, and I started doing this after this first time. So this first time I'm going to tell y'all about, and so I started doing it after this. My uncles was down. One is New Jersey, one is North Carolina, so they don't come down often. So of course, when out-of-state relatives come, what they want Louisiana food. And when this particular time it came, it was during my my depression struggles. So I just was like, not in the mood, didn't wanna, whatever. And he was like, "We want your gumbo, we want your gumbo." So of course I did meditate that day, and an intention. So as I was cooking, chopping it up from the very beginning, I was putting it into like, this is one of the best gumbos I've made. You know, just from the very beginning, as I was cooking, stirring, everything I'm putting in, I'm like, this is gonna be one of the best gumbos I've ever made. Guess what? Everybody was saying this is one of the best gumbos you ever made. So my point is, if you are not actively focusing on putting intentions onto things that you want to see in your life, you need to get into the habit of that. Your intention is so great. Meaning, if you go into something and the intention is, oh, I just know it's going to be horrible. And what happens? It ends up being horrible. You know, I mean, try to think positive and with affirmations. I was one of those people who just thought it was bull, okay? But I noticed that with meditation, of course, and that helped me to gain clarity, to understand this, that when we put our thoughts into the right things, you're helping the right things come into your life. Because your thoughts, they emit a frequency, okay? And that frequency is what's going to pull back whatever it is you're thinking about. So that's why I always encourage people to think positive, you know, not running around here throwing rainbow Skittles at everybody, wanting you to just be happy, just to be happy. It is because when you are in a right frame of mind, and if you are thinking these positive thoughts, it's going to bring more positive things to your life, more positive creation, more positive manifestations. And to really get to that point, meditation does help. So the rest is just like basically tips that I'm going to send y'all on. And like one of them is like meditating on an empty stomach, because when you meditate, it decreases the rate we metabolize food. So you don't want to eat a big old meal, you're full, and then you go to sit down and meditate because you're not metabolizing as quickly as your body normally would. So you just sitting there stuffed, sluggish, and then you're trying to meditate. Very uncomfortable. Try meditating in the morning time. You know, you can meditate all throughout the day, but I found when we first wake up in the morning, or, you know, in those morning hours, you have a little bit more clarity because your day hasn't started. You haven't interacted with people outside your home. So you don't have things that's like piling on top of you to keep you away from having that clarity. And plus, it just makes you handle your day a little bit better. You know, when you don't meditate and take that moment to just kind of bring yourself down and gain some mindfulness and clarity, when you step out the house, one thing could trigger you and you're triggered for the rest of the day. But when you start to meditate and you're teaching yourself to like really calm down and deal with stress better, those triggers won't attack you so easily. I mean, somebody could say something and you're like, what up a duck's back? You know what I'm saying? You know, other stuff is like sit down or lie down, the other stuff that I talked about in here. So I hope this was informative. I don't know if anybody's on the call, but I'm gonna go ahead and check. If anybody isn't, that's fine. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and email y'all this playback. But I just wanted to kind of just touch briefly, because I thought it just was needed for some people to at least have a starting point. You know, you could take some of the things I say, a few things of the things I say, and then you go from there. And that's what you should do with knowledge. Meaning, you shouldn't just let me tell you all of these things, and then you're like, okay, I got it down pat. I don't need to learn anything. No, I have planted a seed. So if you truly want to have a strong meditative practice, you take some of these seeds, incorporate them, do your research, tweak it a little bit, see what works for you. But that's about it, y'all. Meditation is really, really awesome. Let's see if I have anybody on, and I don't, which is fine. So that is it. I know y'all working. I know I said I wasn't going to do any more in the middle of the day workshops, but this was the time slot with my day, because my days are very kind of crazy, that I had to actually do one. So y'all be blessed, and y'all let me know if you have any questions. And thank you again for signing up, and sign up for my one next month as well. And after that, and after that. And also, oh, I'm going to include the link in the summary for you to sign up to join my holistic community. And I'm going to go ahead really, really quickly so y'all can get an idea, because you're like, what is the holistic community? I don't know if I want to sign up for that. But what it is, you're going to have to download an app. And inside the community, so if you join it, you can get like secret sales, like free gifts, like, you know, when I make new products, send them out for you to try, things like that, invites to private events, forums, different things like that, and more. But what you're gonna do, you're gonna download the app, and I'm gonna send you the link. But this is my community, okay? So I have like the services I offer, my blog, I guess you can see a list of my members. So like you would be in that list. Events I have coming up. So like if you're already a member and you come right here, if you see any workshops that I have coming up, you could just go ahead and book right here through the app. Let's next to this forum. And I have different forum topics in here. I also have topics on making money. If you want to join, you get some cash. And I have groups. So some of the groups are private, some are secret, and a few of them are public. So when you join the community, everybody gets access to the public groups. And depending on what it is, you get access to the private groups and the secret groups. It's like a invitation only. It's usually like these private classes or secret classes I have on the metaphysical and esoteric. I really go a little bit deeper in certain things, teaching things to utilize in your life on a daily basis with metaphysics and spirituality. Yeah. So yes, thank y'all again for signing up. I appreciate y'all for even wanting to know what it is that I had to say. Okay. So again, y'all be blessed. Have a good one. And